No matter how hard I work, I still can't save enough for a mortgage.
The bills keep piling up. I just don't know how to get out of debt.
I want to stay fit and eat healthy, but honestly, where do I even start?
How do I know if he is the right person? I'm scared. I don't want to make a mistake.
These are real questions. Questions we all face at one point or another. And in celebration of the 16th anniversary of City of David, Stevenage, we present our Syndicate sessions from City Studios, where your questions will find real answers. From finances to fitness, from career to calling, from love to life balance. Our community of professionals and experienced voices will share biblical wisdom, tools, and insights to help you transform your journey. Join us Saturday, 18th of October 2025 from 8 a.m. live on our YouTube channel, City Studios, where real questions meet real answers.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this session on healthy living. Yes, it's a hot topic on everyone's mind. We want to be healthy. We want to live healthy, wealthy lives because health is wealth. So thank you for joining us today. This is City of David, Stevenage. We are celebrating our 16th anniversary, and this has been put together by City Studio, where we can give you practical, real life content on living day to day. Today we have a fantastic guest, who's Tayo, who's going to be talking to us about her journey, her life, what she's been through in terms of surviving breast cancer, and also I'll be chipping in bits about myself as well and how I try to live a healthy life, and put it that way. So my journey is it's pretty much like most people's journey. Like you find that life has happened, you've had your kids, fast forward 2 kids later in 2023, I found myself my heaviest I've ever been. And my aha moment was on a trip to Vegas with friends of mine, and we went to this diner, and of course Americans serve huge portions of food. And they brought this portion, it was humongous. And my friend, bless her, she didn't mean any harm, but she just turned to me and said, Oyinye, I think America is for you because these portions are like right up your street. And for me, that was like, no, I refuse to be the biggest person in the room again. I refuse to have to carry around this excess weight. I decided to do something about it. So fast forward to 2023 and 2025 now, I have taken up running, which I absolutely love doing. I love playing tennis as well. And in doing that, I have found, I know it's very cliche to say, but I found the joy in actually just being 24, 26 kg lighter than I was when I started. It's been absolutely life-changing. And, that's how I met Tayo, our guest, who I'm going to introduce in a minute. So I'll tell you a bit more about myself as we go along. But first of all, let's bring on Tayo, who I'm very excited about today. So her name is Tayo Rui. She's a very passionate health and fitness advocate. I would say that because I know her personally. And she's a community leader and a survivor of breast cancer. And we're going to be drawing from her personal journey of healing and wellness. Tayo has become a very strong voice for natural health and the power of movement. She runs Simple Steps fitness classes, which I absolutely love. We do it once a month in Stevenage, and it's simple, but it's actually very good because it works it out really, really hard. She helps people stay active through fun, accessible dance sessions. Tayo also shares her knowledge of herbs and holistic living, inspiring others to embrace simple, natural ways to support their health and well-being. By profession, Tayo is a UK qualified primary school teacher, and she brings her love of learning and sharing knowledge into every area of her life. So without further ado, welcome, Tayo. It's wonderful to have you on here today.
Hello, hi Oye. Thank you for having me. And yeah, I'm hoping that I can share my views. As I always say, these are my experience, my living experience. It's not like I did do some tiny courses, but I'm not a health nutritionist by profession. So as I would say, take it with a pinch of salt, and I'm just saying my experience and some of the studies I've been doing after my experience. So that's it basically.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So, Taya, tell us a little bit about how you got into fitness and healthy living and why you think it's important.
Well, okay. As I've always thought that I was healthy, because growing up, my dad was always into like girls, and I thought that was misogynistic, and that girls have to look a certain way. So we're all
Mhm.
like super skinny. So and also in school, being the middle child, I was full of energy. I loved to dance a lot. I loved to debate and all that. So I just loved doing things like that. However, fast forward to, so I just thought I was healthy. Now, after when I got married in 1994, I was still skinny, tiny. And people used to talk about, how I was always skinny, too skinny. And in Nigeria, skinny was not the in thing at all. It was never. So I didn't really like being skinny. I actually wanted to put on weight and I was looking forward to pregnancy and being a mom. Meanwhile, people always ask me, are you the one that gave birth to this child? Because my boys were right, big, and I was skinny. No, that was all like 1999 and all that. Fast forward to, so later on, where I knew that I had put on weight was where people started asking me. So I was like about 35, 36, going towards like 40. And people were like, who's that in the picture, as in my wedding picture? And I was wondering how they didn't recognize me. At that time, I didn't see any warning bells. I was really quite happy to have been looking like a woman as far as I was concerned. I liked looking like that way. I didn't
Yeah.
mind. I really did want to because I hardly fitted into size 8 clothes at the time when I came back into the UK. But later on, being size 14, I was really so happy. Now, fast forward to 2019, I got diagnosed with breast cancer. I found a lump. Yeah, and it was a painful lump. So I just actually thought, and people around me thought, okay, it's a painful lump. So actually, you won't, it's not cancer because usually it will be a painless lump that they find. So anyway, moving forward, we did the test and all that, and then they called me and I just knew that that was breast cancer. And so they were telling me it was really, it was a very hostile one and it could move rapidly but the good thing is it was caught in time. So so I just went into, I know that I'm supposed to take my health as my, because I have a lot of medical people around me. I know how overworked they are. I know how tired they are. So that was 2019. And then they gave me the tablets and I started having all the side effects. I couldn't even do teaching anymore. And people were telling me about how a lot of people with cancer treatments have had to quit their jobs. And I
Sorry.
was like, no way, because this is what I like to do. So that was, yeah. So I was like, I'm not going to quit my job, but I'm going to find out what I could do. So I went back into herbs, started reading things, and COVID struck. And in COVID, it was even worse because people started sending all kinds of things. You would
Mhm.
die. This would happen.
Mhm.
Use pot on it. It was crazy. And it
Mhm.
went back to like childbirth, where everybody had a say. Even people that had never given birth, man, everybody had a say about what you should do with your baby. And at that time, my peace of mind was to go and read, go to study, get books, read. And so that's what I did for. I was like, okay, I'm fed up of what's going on. I don't like, I'm not going to be able to teach. I can't face children anymore. I'm going to take over my health,
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
So it was
That,
just basically to, yeah, it was basically to be able to be cured of cancer. That was it. And I was going to survive it. because I had to go through intensive treatment, chemotherapy, operation, all of it, radiotherapy. I took it all. However, I believe that my state of mind was helping. So through reading, I started realizing I was actually not as healthy as I thought. And that's where my journey started.
Amazing, amazing. And saying that you've survived cancer, and right now it's been what, 5 years post that. How have you
Yeah.
managed to stay healthy and keep up with your exercise, keep up with all your healthy eating and drinking in a very busy world? I mean, everyone's busy. So how do you prioritize that?
Well, as I always say, because when I started reading, I realized I didn't know Jack. I actually was not healthy, and just being skinny was not healthy. And by that
Mhm.
time, I put on so much weight as well. I actually did not like how I looked. And then I struggled. I found it very strange, struggling. And because I had been put on steroids as well, I was like, I didn't recognize myself. My face, everything had gone. So because my mom had died from breast cancer as well, and she was an advocate of girls coming forward, doing everything. I thought, as far as I'm concerned, she died so that we can live, and we're not going through
Mhm.
this. So when I did the breast cancer treatment, also because obviously when this sister had it, that one had it, it's always in the family. So I did the BRCA test, and it wasn't in the family. And then I started reading, and then I found out lifestyle has so much to do with whether you get cancer or not. And the scary thing was that the prediction in another 10 years, if people go on the way they are going on, we are all going on with putting our health behind and eating anything and everything, was that 1 in 2. So for every 2 people, one
Yeah,
person would have had cancer. That's crazy.
that is
Yes, it's nice
scary.
that people are surviving, but it leaves the side effects what people don't know. Like
Mm.
now, I definitely, even though I'm healthy and all that, I can't go into full-time teaching. I can't be that buoyant person that I could be teaching, being a primary school teacher. There's no way I could do that Monday to Friday. So I'm actually really glad I can still go back into teaching. So what I did was to make sure it's a priority. So to me, health is life, is being alive, having a healthy lifespan. I'm so
Mm.
scared of being a dependent person when in my old age, or I can't get up, I have to call people to do this. I am that woman who will call you and say, help me with this. And if you're wasting time, 5 minutes, I've done it. I've done it. And I like that about myself. So what I would say to people is, put it as your priority. Know that there is no time. There is no time anybody's going to have time. Nobody is lucky. Nobody has time. It's whatever you prioritize that you will put on top of it. And just like I said, with weeing, we go into the toilet. If you need to go, you make time for it. You stop everything else and you go. So that's
Yeah,
what I do. I move things apart to be able to
to
do this. So it's a
prioritize
priority
the
to me.
time.
And as far
Yeah.
as I'm concerned, it's my old age gift to myself.
Give to yourself, yes. Give to your older self. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
And it's this saying, I don't know how it goes exactly, but the where your heart is, where your treasure is, right? So where your heart is, what you consider
Is
important, that's where your heart will be. So you're right. The
Yes.
saying
Where
health
your
is wealth.
treasure
Everyone,
is where your heart will
your
be.
heart is, that's it, that's it.
Yes.
And everyone says, very cliche, health is wealth, health is wealth. But when we actually think about it, we go around chasing this money and chasing everything else and not putting our health first. At the end of the day, if you're sick, you can't do that. You can't do all of that. So sometimes I think about why, it's like a no-brainer. Why wouldn't you prioritize your health? If you know it's good for you, why wouldn't you go ahead and go out, and do it and just make the extra effort to be healthy? And, you know, talking about exercise, for me, I find that it's not how well you do it at the time, is it's the consistency. It's 10 minutes. I don't have time. We're so lucky and privileged in this day and age. We have everything at our fingertips. We have YouTube. There is no excuse. I have videos on YouTube for when I don't feel like working, and I have a 5 minute barbell workout. I just lift my barbell and I feel healthy. I feel like I've done something. I've got my heart rate up. I have a 10-minute one if I want to do a 10-minute cardio, just something. So I encourage people to say, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. If you take out the can't in any sentence and just put yourself out there, give it a try. 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, in no time that will build up to 30 minutes a day, and you find that you're doing amazing things. So, you know, it's we can't stress enough, how important it is to look after our bodies. And then another thing that comes to mind is when people say, "Oh, but I want to eat healthy, but our African food is, we're used to it, we grew up that way, and healthy living is a little bit expensive." So, what would you say to that?
Hmm. Okay, so here's the thing. I was actually, when I was told, oh, you have to glam up and everything, and it was so funny because I was just thinking today how much foundation costs. And actually, I've not had to buy foundation. So you would find, so here's the thing. You would say, yes, I prioritize vegetables, I prioritize fresh food, I go and buy those things. And yes, you have to do it more. However, you would find that there are some things that you used to do. For me personally, like now, I don't buy foundation at all. I don't need it anymore because the skin glows by itself because I'm doing so. I'm finding that yes, I'm spending a bit more, and not
Mhm.
really, to be honest, a bit more on vegetables, on all those things that are so-called expensive. But because you're looking good, your skin, your skin looks good, your health looks good. So if you are spending a lot of money on drugs, you're going to use less. You're spending a
Yes.
lot of money on expensive vitamins, you're going to use less. You're spending money on makeup to cover all the impurities, you're going to use less. So on that side, not that you have more money to spend, you then put it into your health. So
Mhm.
that's what I found. But even at that, even if you were still doing the makeup, I like to come from a perspective because maybe as a primary school teacher, I'm not hard on people. I'm like, I understand it. I'm not going to call it a no-brainer because I've been there. I took it
Yeah.
for granted. I could eat a
Mhm.
whole chocolate like that, and I didn't know what I was doing because of the danger. Because it feels good, and when things feel good to us, we feel is right because
Yeah.
it actually did feel good to eat chocolate. It feels good to eat. It feels good to when you're going through trouble. Some people are like stress
Yeah.
eaters, so those
Breast
things
eating,
felt good. And by the time it doesn't feel good, it's too late. So to
yeah.
be honest, I do sympathize with people. It's not, I don't think I've not met anyone who knowingly does not want to be healthy. But the
Mhm.
problem is one, knowledge. You have to
Mhm.
have knowledge. And we are the tip of knowledge now. And people are telling you now, what does it really mean health is wealth? If you tell somebody who's not healthy to say, right, can you teach me? So what I do is I'm like, okay, I need advice. You tell me what I'm supposed to do. Trust me, you know the first thing you're going to say? Sleep, drink water, exercise.
Exercise.
Everybody knows that. Why don't we do it? The thing is all the other noise of food. Oh, you have to do this. Go and buy this food.
Yeah.
Or food is in our forefront. So be aware of whatever your noise is.
Mhm. Yeah.
Know what it is, and then that's how you would prioritize it. Does that kind of answer your question?
Yes,
So
yes, it kind
yeah.
of answers the question. So basically saying that, even though we think food, healthy living is expensive, at what cost are we living unhealthily? I guess, how is our unhealthy living beneficial? Because,
Yeah.
if you're spending money on junk
And can
food,
I add?
you're going to pay for it at some point. Go on.
Yes. And even here is the thing. Here is what I think everybody should do. Go and find out that, because there was a time I was thinking, okay, so I'm getting to I'm 55 now. I'm getting to some age where I should think about, the next 10 years, the next 20 years to think about pension. And I was thinking, oh, I really loved the homes, old people's homes, that yeah, they won't be lonely. Since we're not going back, I started looking at old people's homes, the nice ones, the ones that take you to see and all that. All I want you, all of people to do, please go and find out how much that costs as a healthy person,
Mm.
and how much it costs as an old person that's not healthy. Onyinye will not believe the cost. Let's just say it was like, so your weekly cost, yeah, let's say monthly in a month, it might cost you, if you're a healthy old person in, yeah, like you're past your 80s, as far as I'm concerned, 70 is not old. 80, 90, you're there, yes. and you're old in a nice old people's home or in your own home where you need care, your cost, you're not working anymore. So let's say the cost is, let's just say, I can't remember what it is. Let's just say £100. Let's say 1,000 a month. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if you have the old age problems, and what are these? You got diabetes, you got high
Like
blood pressure, you're dealing
yeah.
with your liver, you've had a hip replacement. These are all the normal things. You have arthritis, those
Mhm.
normal ones. We're not even talking about all the ones that people felt comes with old age. Now,
Yeah.
a healthy person who is spending 1,000 per month, now that same exact food, but with the old age symptoms and the care and the things you need with that, is times 5. So this is
Thanks,
what it
Tom.
means mathematically. If you are spending 1,000 per month as a healthy person, the sick old age person, yeah, is
Mm-hmm.
spending 5,000. It means just by being healthy and taking care of yourself now,
No.
what you are doing in essence by being, when you're 80, is you're saving yourself £4,000 per month. Can you imagine that? You're
Yeah.
saved. So, and what people talking about pension, we're thinking about all day things. And the greatest pension that hits me when I looked at how much the old age, this is not, oh, they have to do dialysis. No, this is not that. This is what comes with old age. Like if you
Yeah.
continue, you're sitting down, you have arthritis, your liver. Do you understand? And you need
Yeah.
something, you need all those other things. You will need care. Care is expensive. You will need
Yeah.
somebody to come and check on you if you're living in your own house. Forget if they then decide you can't live alone or you can't go and have a shower. Do you see what I'm saying? The cost of all that. So, if even if you had no pension and you are healthy, you are actually saving £4,000 a
So
month.
you're basically investing in your future. So that's a way of looking at it.
Exactly. And there's another person that said, and this is another thing that wrong with me, that said, okay, so he was 65, but one of these people that looked like 45, healthy. So he was 65, and that was when people could retire at 60. Because he was 65, he started actually at 65, he worked up till 75, not full time, but he could do things, he could actually help himself and generate actually an income, doing things that he liked, like helping to read, teaching, keeping his mind alert. So he was
Active.
still
Yeah.
able to earn after
Yeah.
the retirement age.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? But so he could go to work when he felt like, and he was healthy. And the more you are useful, getting out, doing, the less you're sick. The last
Yeah.
thing we need when you is not to move. Do you
Yeah.
see? And that happens with
Absolutely.
old age. So the
Only. Yeah.
more you don't move, the more you're sick. So to
Yeah.
me, what gives priority is that. Do you see?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's expensive to be. So that actually saying that actually, oh, keeping healthy is expensive. No.
No.
Being unhealthy is expensive.
Yeah.
Here's the thing I'll ask you,
Agree.
since you lost weight. Do you see how cheap clothes that are lower sizes? Are they the same size? So big
Yeah.
sizes cost more.
I agree.
So actually, by being slimmer, by being healthier, it's
Mm.
actually cheaper than being
Than
unhealthy.
being unhealthy.
That's what
That's
yeah.
yeah. That's so true. That's so true. And in our B2B active and stay healthy, some people say we need, or some people think they need to be motivated daily to, I have to get up and do this, I have to do that. They feel like it's a chore. So can you share with us just how do you stay motivated? I know you've talked about a little bit about it in terms of, when you prioritize your health and wealth, obviously it's easy for you to stay motivated. So what would you say was to someone that says, I really want to exercise. I really, I can't find the time to exercise, but how do I stay motivated with all of this?
So I go back to teaching, primary teaching. What do you love? When we're going to, like teach maths to someone, we're going to be like, what do you like? Says, oh, I like to collect dolls. Then I'll be like, right, okay. So you got this doll, and then your friend gave you another doll, and then 3 people gave you a doll each. How much do you have? They're going to tell you straight away because they're not thinking of maths, they're thinking of dolls. Same thing with exercise, with keeping healthy. Use what you know. Use what is fun. Don't work with somebody else. Oh, Tayo's running. I actually always say, do what you like.
Which is
Think about
what
what
you
do
have
you like
fun doing.
and
Yeah.
turn it into something. You know, like we do the dance. We know we have to
Mm.
take strength training. I don't like strength training. It's punishment. I have a friend who will say, I'm going to do my punishment. And I said, if I ever say that, trust me, I will never do it again. But she is like military. She's that kind of person who the more challenging, the more she does it. So you
Yeah.
also have to know yourself. I am somebody, if it's not simple, you know me. I'm like,
Mm.
no, it has to be simple and it has to be like free, like not formal. When it's
Yeah.
like that, that's for me. So what I would say is, what do you love? Turn that
Yeah.
into, what movement do you love? Someone will say, I can't dance. Fine. Can you jump? Jump. Can you
Yeah.
skip? Skip. You
Mm.
don't have to run. Go for
Yeah.
walks. If
Yeah.
you're walking, then go for walks more,
Yeah.
then, but here is the thing I would say, and people don't like me to say it. You see, all this exercise we do, all of it is 20%. The 80% is what we eat. Okay, let's say
Mm.
no, let's say exercise is 20%, 70% is what we eat. Now, here is
Yeah.
10% state of mind. I have to
Mm.
tell you, you have to be
Mm.
positive. That's one thing people were telling me, like, oh, Tayo, how did you survive cancer? And well, they saw that I was positive. It was funny because I had no choice. Because I
Yeah.
am somebody who has to see something fun. If it's not fun,
Mm.
I'm not doing it. You can't get me
Mm.
to do it. I know I can't get myself, I can try, but I
Yeah.
like the fun part. So I
Yes.
knew that I had to come from the positive. I had to make fun of myself. And then I kept people that have the same, not one saying you
Surround
should move your
yourself.
friends
Yeah.
away, but you
Mm.
have to surround yourself with people that have that. Do you
Yeah.
see? That's how I got
Yeah.
to know you. I think
Yeah.
you forgot that I'd even taught your daughter before. We didn't have anything in common. It was just like, oh,
Mm.
okay, hello, hello. That was it.
Yeah.
But when it was like you were running and you're into exercise, I'm like, even if Oyinde doesn't like me, she has to be my friend. So that's another thing I do. I look for
Yeah.
people now who are into herbs, exercise, dancing. I also inspire people and people inspire me. And then I share. And then I
Yeah.
put myself out there to say, right, I'm doing this so that people can hold me accountable. So
Yeah.
hold yourself accountable. That's what you do. Don't let anyone else hold you accountable. They can just remind you. So those are
Yeah.
the things I do. So I don't know if that helps anybody, but
It
start
surely
from what is
definitely
fun.
helps. Yeah. And I would say that, as much it's easy to say, don't lead. I tell myself all the time, don't lead from a place of feelings, because if you go by how you feel, feelings are very fleeting. Like today, I don't feel like going out. Today, I don't feel like doing a 3K or don't feel like doing a 5K. If we approach it that way, we're going to have to constantly keep motivating ourselves. And motivation is a feeling as well. It will come and go. You don't feel motivated to do it. So if we go back to your first point, which is your why are you doing this? If you're thinking about your future self, if you're thinking about how does Onyinye want to show up in 80 at 80 years old or 90 years old, I think that's enough to get you going. So in the center, at the core of everything, at the center of everything we do, it's difficult sometimes, but always remember the why we do what we do. And for me, that's what keeps me going. Some days I don't feel like running. I don't, but as much as I don't feel like, I don't like walking. I know you're a walker. I'm not really much of a walker, except we're going as a group and we're going hiking, and that is fun because I'm kind of like, I just want to go and get it done and back. But sometimes, like going back to your point, just find what you enjoy doing. Because if you don't find joy in it, you're not going to stick to it. You're going to do it because it's going to get you from A to B. You're going to look. Some people get into exercise for a while, go to gym, all of that, lose all the weight, and then put it back on again.
And then
And
exactly.
you have to find your why, and it has to be something that's constant, that is at the core of what you do, at the core of your being. So that's been that's just my own little nuggets. And another question I was going to ask is, so you've answered it already, but how do you decide on what diet to go on? How do you decide on what exercise to do? And you kind of mentioned it again. Find what you enjoy doing. And if you
Yeah.
find joy in it, you wouldn't need anyone. You don't need a cheerleader to just do what you need to do. Like I love playing tennis. And if no one else is playing tennis, I would just go there and find someone to hit the ball with. Or I love running, if I don't have someone to run with, I would still run myself. And I tell myself, is running something I would enjoy doing, whether or not I have people doing it with me or have a group of people with me? And I said yes, because I love I know you love your solo runs. I love my solo runs as well. But sometimes you need that community. You need people to cheer you on. You need, that extra
Absolutely.
people that share the same values, like you said, with you, and people that push you. Like recently, we've had, two people do the 10K, which is amazing. You were there cheering them on. We've had people that say, oh, she did that, I'm going to try it. We've gone on hikes together, people that didn't think they could walk for 2 hours. So it's getting yourself surrounded by people that will support you and encourage you. And, it's really important
Yeah.
we do that. It's really important. My final question to you is, we're in Stevenage, and I know you've been in Stevenage for a very long time. So what would you, if people would just come into town and trying to find out how they can access healthcare facilities, things around them that not necessarily expensive, not like a gym membership, but what are the things that you can do, or access to, things we can have access to around in Stevenage to help on this journey?
I think, first of all, use your phone to get herbs. I have to talk about diet over exercise. Diet is very important. There is no shortcut to it. You need to find it and do it, because honestly, there is nothing worse than doing a hard job and getting to the wrong one. So here is what people would say. If I say, oh, you have to do this and diet, and like, how am I even alive all this while? It's not, no one's telling you to be perfect. We are saying this is the bar. So if you knew, like now, you're playing football. I'm not a big football fan, but all I know is there is the goalpost, and all you know is we're going to score there. If you don't know which side your goalpost is, you might be going the wrong way and score in your own team. So mine is this: get to the bar. Don't get afraid of people telling you don't eat rice, don't eat bread. Listen, yeah, listen to the ultimate bar. So that's where you're getting from. So at least, even if you don't get here, which nobody, I have not got there. I can't tell you I've kept a whole healthy diet throughout in a week. There's no way.
Not
I
possible.
fall off the wagon.
Mhm.
However, I know where the bar is, so I'm going towards it. So at
Mhm.
least know what is wrong. So, for example, carbohydrates, for example, if you've been on a high carbohydrate diet throughout your life, like we are in, the truth is, people will say, well, we need carbohydrate. Yes, but you've got a surplus of it. It's like you got plants. I love plants and grow plants, and you've overwatered it. Plants need water. If you've overwatered it, what would you do to save it? You stop. You have to make it dry. You can't continue to water it every day, saying it
Mhm.
needs water every day because you've overwatered it. So that's
Mhm.
how I see. No, there's no food that's bad, no natural whole food that's bad. However, if you've done too much of everything is bad, and if you've done too much of it, you have to make up for it by fasting. Fast. There's a reason God said that fasting. To be honest, the more I'm learning about fasting, and my mom used to say that God is the master planner. He's planned it. Most of all these things that we thought was punishment, was, like traditionally religious. It wasn't. It's for us. Fasting was for us to reset our body. That's why when
Mhm.
you fast, you hear God, because your brain will work. It's not disturbing itself trying to digest food or remove fat. Your brain will. So first of all, if you overdone something, like I tell someone, if you've been doing plus plus plus, the way to balance it is to do minus.
Minus,
So
minus,
fast.
minus. Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Fast first. If you can't
Yeah.
fast, reduce what you're doing. Know the bar. Say, okay, right, I'm supposed to fast and get here. It's better
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
somebody say, no, I'm not doing it. So they won't even be here. They'll be right there. So
Yeah.
even though the bar is here to fast and do everything, at least you're here. You've done something better than
Yeah.
move. Now, do you see? So know the bar. Don't discourage yourself. Don't put off people that will tell you don't eat grapes that have no seeds in them. Actually, sugar. Oh, honey
Yeah.
is sugar. It is. But trust
Mhm.
me, look, I have honey in here. Do you see what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But I
Yeah.
know that I have to reduce it. I'm not going to tell myself it's healthy, therefore I can have loads and loads of it. So know the
Mhm.
bar, fast, and do healthy living. Then
Run
here,
towards
if you
that
want
bar.
me to give you a tip of what to do in Stevenage, use the free access. We are blessed in Stevenage. You have walkways, run, get a bike,
Cycle.
go
Yeah.
outside, pick up
Mhm.
herbs. Netto is free. Dandelion leaves free. I remember when I told you about nettles. Oh yeah, do you remember when I was like, all
Mhm.
these things you're doing for your allergies? Go and
Yeah.
get nettles. And only I don't know what you did in the room, but I saw that you did that. And then you were then telling somebody else to say, actually,
Yeah.
herbs, go back to basic. Herbs work, nettles
Mhm.
work, dandelion is Stevenage work. If you can't buy,
Bailey.
go and get the free ones. Go out there,
Mhm.
collect them, wash them, use your internet to see how to use them. Get 3 or 4, listen to 3 or 4, and then read, and then make your own choice. So
Yeah.
that's the safe thing I can say. Yeah, I'm not a
Mhm.
nutritionist, but when something tastes tasteless, so that's a key. If it doesn't have a strong taste, it's not likely going to indicate anything. So nettles like water. When you blend them, they're like water. Dandelion is a bit bitter, therefore it's stronger. So those are things I can tell you. When they are bitter, be careful how you take them. Read information, add water, things like that. But when it
Mhm.
tastes like water or like you can have loads of it. So if in
Mhm.
doubt, stay green. Juice
Yeah.
green and do that. That's what I would say. And fast.
Yes.
Fasting is very important.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's been very enlightening. And I think ultimately we're the masters of our own self. There's a saying that says, to thine own self be true. So we all know it's not about Onyinye coming on here to say, do this, or Tayo coming on here to say. I think as individuals, we know what's good for us, we know what's bad for us, we know where we need to make changes in our lives, in our habits. I'll say our habits. We know when we need to get off that couch and move. So if I were to summarize this session, be true to ourselves, make the changes we need to make, and make those changes because you want to see a change, because you want things to be different for you, because we all want a better
Yes.
outcome. We live happy, we live a happier life, and generally, your general well-being is 100 times better. I can tell you that for free. So thank you so much for joining us. I mean, we
Can
cannot
I add
exhaust
quickly
this topic.
something?
Oh yeah, sure.
Knowledge.
Yeah,
Knowledge. Get knowledge. It says
absolutely.
that my people perish for lack of knowledge. That's all I'm going to add to. I agree with everything, but get knowledge, because
Mhm.
there's nothing worse than ignorance. It's not the best. My people perish for lack of knowledge. So get
Yeah,
knowledge.
yes. Thank you so much, Tayo, for this session. It's been amazing for sharing all of your amazing knowledge with us. Thank you so much for that. And if you want to get in touch with Tayo, attend one of her dance classes, Simple Steps. We meet every last Saturday of the month at St. Nicholas Community Center. Please come along, and it's always a fun session. So moving on from Tayo, exercise and fitness, we're going to talk about something quite similar. How do we make those healthy swaps in terms of what we eat? We're going to bring on the foodie diet fit woman. She calls herself on Instagram Eunice. This is a movement that was founded by Mrs. Eunice and fondly known as Coach E. It's been built on her passion for empowering women. The brand inspires women to embrace their well-being and thrive in every area of life. Coach E guides women to become the best version of themselves, confident in their skin, strong in their purpose. So without further ado, let's welcome Eunice. Thank you so much. It's so good to have you here. So Eunice, over to you. Thank you.
Hello, City of David family. Happy anniversary. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about nutrition. We know that food is medicine, right? And we know that what we eat affects the way we look, the way we feel, and the way we live. So it's important that we take our nutrition seriously, especially as we go into old age, as we grow every day. From the age of 35 and above, our body tends to lose nutrients very easily. So it's very important that we pay attention to what we eat. And incorporating fruits and vegetables is key in the life of everybody. because fruit and vegetables contain lots of minerals that our bodies need. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make quick milkshakes that you could have. So we're going to be making strawberry milkshake today. So instead of going to the store and buying all the store-bought milkshake, just make your own. Because by the time you look at the ingredients in the fruit or whatever you're buying, out there, you'll see that it contains even more than just the fruit alone. It contains additives, it contains concentrates, which your body doesn't need. So it's better you make yours at home. So I'm going to be teaching you how to make a quick strawberry milkshake. So we're going to be using some banana. Yes, one banana. And we will have strawberry as well. Having these packed frozen strawberries, it's okay. However, please do not buy the canned ones. Do not buy the canned fruits because they contain lots of chemicals. But the frozen ones do not contain chemicals, so you can actually buy the ones. So, and they are affordable, so please buy them if you have to. But do not buy the canned ones. We're going to use this as well. So we'll use some strawberry. Strawberry in here. Like I mentioned, we're having some milkshakes. Yeah, that's strawberry. And I will be adding yogurt. Yogurt is very, very good for the body. It contains live bacteria which the body needs. So I'm going to add 1 spoon of yogurt in this strawberry. Yeah, I could do it. Okay, that's fine. And I will be also adding some milk, fresh milk into it. So we add some milk. Okay, so I will usually, depending on how you like to have your milk, if you want to measure, that's fine. I personally am lactose intolerant, so I usually do not really take milk, but I make this a lot for my children. I take mainly plant-based milk. So whatever milk you want to use, that's fine. So I will be putting this over. So our milkshake is almost ready in just less than 2 minutes. And the beautiful thing is no chemicals, and you know that everything you're having is safe for you to eat. So, milkshake ready, that's it. Pop into containers like this and your children can take them to school. You can serve your visitors, you can pour in a glass and have a drink. Ensure that you drink smoothies daily. Okay, so now we are going to be making vegetables. We're going to be cooking vegetables. So vegetables contain minerals and nutrients in trace elements. These minerals and nutrients are very, very easily degradable. They can be destroyed by heat, they can be destroyed by water. So it is important that when you're cooking your vegetables, you cook them with a lot of care. As much as possible, if you can, cook your vegetables without water so that they can be able to retain their nutrients. And when cooking your vegetables, please use very low heat. Put your heat on the lowest because vegetables can be easily destroyed. You do not want to lose the minerals and nutrients in your vegetables. So now we're going to be cooking these vegetables without any water. And I am using salad master cookware because this cookware, it does not corrode, it does not leach any chemical into your food when you cook it. Because as much as possible, you also want to make sure that the cookware you are using is not leaching chemicals into your food when you do cook. So I've got my carrots here, and here now I'm going to be using some parsnips. Now, beetroot. Beetroot is very, very good for you. Beetroot is good for the blood. It contains lots of folic acid. It is very good, especially women. Please ensure you take beetroot every week. Beetroot is a blood purifier, it's a blood cleanser. It also helps you to fight against high blood pressure. Yes, so if you have high blood pressure, beetroot is good for you as well. I will be adding some beetroot. I'm just going to separate this to make it nice. As you can see, that is how beetroot actually looks like. Blood purifier, very, very good for the blood. Yeah. And then I'm going to be adding some broccoli. Broccoli is another good fruit, vegetable, packed with loads of nutrients. So I'll be cooking all these vegetables in this cookware without water, like I've mentioned. Yes, without any single water. Okay, I'm going to add some peas. I really do love to add peas in most of my cooking. Like that. And I'll also be adding some corn as well, some sweet corn, yeah. This is really pretty. So let's get this in. So, as you can see, do you love the color? That's one good thing about fruits. Yeah, so beautiful. I'm going to be cooking this with low heat for about 10-15 minutes, and you will see how beautiful it looks without any water. Yes.
Thank you so much, Eunice, for that session. It was absolutely amazing. I have learned a lot, and I'm hoping all our viewers have picked up one or two things. Thank you so much again, Tayo, for being at this session. It's been an amazing session. I have learned quite a few things myself, and I hope that we will pick up one or two things and actually start putting them into practice in our day-to-day lives. Thank you very much. And thank you everyone for tuning into City Studios, and we hope that you have found this very helpful. I'm taking away some nuggets that will help you, or you can share this and share with somebody. I'm sure somebody will find it helpful. So thank you very much. Take care.
We want to say a big thank you to you all for joining us today. We hope you've all been blessed by this edition of City Studios. We warmly invite you to be part of our family at RCCG City of David Stevenage, a place where we experience love beyond reason. Join us every Sunday at 10 a.m. for our celebration service and grow deeper in the Word with us at Bible study every Wednesday at 7 p.m. For more information and updates, visit our social media pages and stay connected. City of David Stevenage, where we experience love beyond reason.